Yo, guys, if you don't know, yeah, Igra Labs is just helping to revolutionize KASPA with based ZK rollups. What is this? This is the solution for Ethereum. Ethereum has been trying to release based ZK rollups. Based. This is so that the layer 2 processes transactions and verifies on chain to the layer 1 like instantly. Okay, there's not going to be currently Ethereum works with optimistic rollups. It batches and holds transactions off chain for a prolonged period of time. It's like a week, and they send it all in one big batch to Ethereum layer 1, and they send it to get it verified and validated, all those transactions. It's very centralized, okay? And it's not even super scalable. There's scalability factors so Ethereum itself is not even a very scalable solution with its even risk V architecture upgrade coming in the next 5 years. That doesn't solve the problems of Ethereum. It's still not going to be a scalable solution, not nearly on the same spectrum of KASPA. So Ethereum, great job. You're developing and you're trying to not be a dead dinosaur, but unfortunately, you are going to become one anyways. So you're going to have to implement KASPA as the native layer 1 validator, or you're going to get left behind. So, all these EVM projects on Ethereum, they can very well come over and bridge to KASPA with Igra Labs. With Igra Labs is one of many. There's whole Casplex is building their whole layer 2. Even Sparkle, layer 1.5, more closely entwined with KASPA itself. So Igra Labs is incredible. They're going to be compatible with any type of virtual machine, whether it's, EVM, Solana VM, Move, WASM, WASM. I don't know how to even say that. So basically, it's going to be a very inclusive, very compatible layer 2 for KASPA. So now again, this is an investment opportunity for KASPA within the KASPA ecosystem. Okay, Igra Labs is going to release a token. Now this token is going to be how its nodes are rewarded for keeping their nodes running. The nodes are going to be necessary on Igra Labs to RPC node. They're going to be able to accept transactions and send them to KASPA for validation. It's just going to be a requirement just to take the input and even send out output. I don't know about the output, but they're going to be able to take an input. Okay. Now these nodes are going to be necessary for Igra Labs, so they're going to, in order to keep them running and to expand the decentralization of the network, they're going to have to reward them, and they're going to reward them and incentivize these node operators with tokens. So here we go, investment opportunity. What's it about? We don't have so much details about it, but I do know for a fact that venture capitals are interested in investing. Red flag. Yep, it's a red flag. So venture capitals. So you're now going to have to compete with venture capitals. Okay, once you're trying to invest in Igra Labs token, you're now competing with fellow big money institutions, VCs. This is something KASPA stayed far, far away from, as well as KASPA's meme coin assets stayed far away from it. Nacho, Kango, the top meme coins. The meme coins are just fair launch, just like KASPA. So it's just it's very sad to see that they're working with venture capitals and they're talking with them. But everyone needs to make money, right? So they're going to have their token, and let's see how it wants to launch. Okay, it's going to launch maybe with some sort of seed rounds or pre-sales, or similar to ZealSwap. ZealSwap is having their little pre-sale. Oh man, they have token allocations to the maximum. So their token allocations is something that I very much am not a fan of, and introduces sell pressure over a prolonged period of time. I'm not saying it's not going to work. It seems like they have everything figured out, and it's pretty reasonable to an extent, but it's just inherent sell pressure, and I'm not crazy about it. So I'm sure it'll work. People are going to make money from it. I'm going to certainly have some from exposure from Nacho NFTs. And I love to see it, but not for me, especially not for me to put comparing it to existing investments with, Nacho, Kango, with the top meme coin assets, I'm maximizing my KASPA exposure with these assets. Even, of course, with KNS, KASPA name domains, KASPA name service, with these, sick domains. Like, man, I'm glad I bought those domains, and I'm glad I'm going to HODL them and keep them for years to come and sell them when I feel the ecosystem is well adopted and there's buyers looking for some sick domains. That's an investment opportunity I'm very comfortable in. I'm not gonna have to, my investment isn't going to continue to lose value from people farming, infinity pools and stuff like that. And that is unfortunately something Eager Labs is also going to have inherent. So we know with KASPA, with the mining, it's been an very, Jonathan set it up extremely. It was extremely wise. Okay, even Shai wasn't totally on board with how Jonathan had such a quick emission schedule for KASPA, but eventually Shai really realized how wise it was to do so. So the institutions cannot have a huge major hold of the entire ecosystem and gather a large percent of the supply from the start. So now they're at it's over 90% mined, probably closer to 90. Let me check real quick. Yeah, almost 90. Yeah, almost 91% mined. Now it's over almost 91% mined, and now institutions are fighting for KASPA supply. Big money is fighting to accumulate, fighting to gather their KASPA in these top wallets. Like, these exchanges really want to, get their KASPA, and we see even exchanges forced. People are buying from these exchanges and withdrawing their KASPA, which is incredible to see. And it's like not just on the past 24 hours, but also yesterday. The last 24 hours, incredible movement out from withdrawing from exchanges. See here from Matt, Crypto Matt, absolute crypto KASPA legend. Top exchanges on KASPA seeing massive outflows. We love to see it. Okay, so looking back at Eager Labs, they're going to have their token, and we don't know what's going to be the emission rate. Okay, we don't know how much money is going to be outflowing to the node validators, and that's going to be similar to like KASPA mining rewards. Okay, the emission schedule. We don't know. We need to know this information. We also need to know at what is the market cap, the starting market cap it's going to launch at. We're going to need to know that. We're going to need to know if it's going to be a pre-sale, if the VCs are going to be involved, if it's going to be a seed round. We need to know all this information. And unfortunately, I have a feeling it's not going to be fair launch like KASPA. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how they launch their token, okay? But I'm definitely more interested in Eager Labs token than, for example, ZilaSwap. I may have another video on ZilaSwap. You can check that out. But Eager Labs is definitely interesting because it's a layer 2 solution. But yeah, there is competition. There is going to be Casplex, their own layer 2. Sparkle, layer 1.5. There's going to be these other layer 2s out there. So healthy competition, okay? This one's definitely trying to boast the fact of that it's so compatible with other VMs. That's a great thing. So a lot of builders can just simply migrate over very easily. Very great to see. So Eager Labs definitely has something very good going for it, okay? Especially with the whole based ZK rollups. It's going to absolutely blow away Ethereum and all of Ethereum's layer 2s. So, yeah, it's going to blow them away. Absolutely blow it away. So Eager Labs, it's you could compare it in a way to Base. Base is a optimistic rollup on Ethereum, or Polygon, another rollup from Ethereum. I believe optimistic rollup processes the transactions off chain and gathers them in a bunch, sends them to the layer 1. Centralization liability. Okay, that's something that Eager Labs and KASPA does not have. It's because KASPA's native 1 is so fast and scalable. It can process the transactions directly through KASPA, validate them directly through KASPA, and that's exactly what we want. Keep it the same security and decentralization of KASPA. Well, the same security. Eager Labs will need to continue to decentralize with their nodes to have many nodes. So we're going to have to see with our token and the investment opportunity from that. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to also share my intel that the top meme coins of a blockchain perform better about twice as good as the top layer 2s of a blockchain. So the max potential for the meme coins is more than the max potential for layer 2 tokens on that same native blockchain. So on KASPA, the meme coins are going to have a higher, they're going to be able to reach a greater market cap. They're going to be able to eat up a greater market cap of KASPA than the top layer 2 tokens. That's what we see on Solana and on Ethereum. Okay. Well, sorry, not Solana. Solana doesn't have layer 2s, but on Ethereum, that's what we see. But in the end, everything performs well. When you have the top layer 2s, the top layer 2 tokens, the top meme coin assets, they're all going to perform extremely well and exceedingly well. But you look at the market caps of these top ones, and you just see, minus these two, extremely pre-minted. You look at the top market caps, and they're exceedingly undervalued. Exceedingly. Okay? At 0.4% of the market cap of KASPA. Oh, sorry, 0.4? Let me see real quick. Yeah, about 0.4. Kango, 0.18%. So this is 0.40, 0.18. Like, it's just ridiculously undervalued. They're going to reach up to 5, 7, 10% of the market cap of KASPA. Collectively, the entire KRC20 ecosystem can easily hit 10% plus of the market cap of KASPA itself. So when you see the top meme coins, they're going to perform. They're going to gobble up a big percent of the market cap of KASPA itself. Up to 5%, 7%. It's very reasonable figures, and that would put them way above, double, triple the all-time highs that they have already seen. So, double, triple, quadruple, even for Kango, like it can. It just depends on how high and its market dominance with respect to Nacho. It's going to depend how high it can go, but I think Kango has more room to grow because it can compete more closely with Nacho, especially using its historical reference of how it even flipped Nacho at a period of time. But Nacho and Kango, I mean, even the lower you go, it's like they're all going to do exceedingly well too. But the gains they see may not be as well sustained. But the top meme coins are, for a fact, absolutely going to hit multi-billion market caps, just as well as Nacho's going to. KASPA's going to hit 100+ billion market cap easily. That'll put it to like $3, $4 or $5. So you already know. So Polygon is an example of a layer 2 that it does very well, but it seems it holds a similar value of the top meme coins on Ethereum itself. So Polygon layer 2 of Ethereum, and you have other ones like Arbitrum. You have like Base. Base doesn't have their token, but you have these different layer 2s, okay, and they all have their share. They all take a share from the native one market cap. So do I think Igra Labs can do well? Yeah, it absolutely will do well. But my preference is going to be the meme coins. Meme coins have higher market share potential of the native coins, of the native coin asset, especially comparing to Ethereum. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how it works out, especially going to have to see the starting market cap of Igra Labs and how you can invest at the start. It's going to be a very big factor. And even comparing the starting market cap of Igra Labs to the existing market caps of Nacho and Kango, and do like a comparison of the market cap value, and see like if Igra Labs launches at 12 million market cap, 10 million, 2 million, we're gonna have to see. It might be if it launches at such a low market cap and you can actually get in a fair way, it'll be worth getting putting money into it. Otherwise, better just to hold, buy up meme coins and keep your exposure, maximum KASPA exposure here. So I definitely do think traders are going to also flip Igra Labs. So once it launches, I'm sure it's going to have a lot of attention. It's going to probably spike in price, and then people are going to sell, and similar type of setup like what happened with Nacho, at the start, Kango at the start. let's see how it how it works out. There's going to be so many projects launching on Caspa's layer 2 as well. Um, it's going to be like you just have to play it smart. Okay, it's going to be a lot of ways to lose your Caspa. Okay, you want to stick to the top. You want to stick to the best. You already know Nacho is the top meme coin on Caspa. It's the first. You already know Kango is the second. That has easily like the best um marketing material. Their animations are second to none. I've never seen anything like it, even across the meme coin industry. These pixel animations. Um, Nacho is just incredibly fair launched, incredibly just well distributed. So you have things that are certain, and then you have things that you're going to see new projects pop up, and nothing is going to be certain, and it's going to be like these inscriptions. You can't take out the liquidity. You can't just rug it, but a developer could rug the liquidity from projects on the layer 2 that launches on the layer 2 as a token. The developer could rug, and it's going to become like, I really hope it doesn't become something like Solana where it's just going to see rug after rug. I really hope not. And it's going to place a lot more importance on these big names and these big communities that are powering this security and fair launch. But then you have these pre-sales. Pre-sales, nothing I'm not a fan of. So we're gonna have to see with Eager Labs. Okay, that's my full thought on it. Eager Labs, and even seeing how Sparkle. I don't know if Sparkle's gonna have their own token. I didn't hear anything about that, or Casplex in their layer 2. I didn't hear anything about that. But Eager Labs definitely did announce that they're gonna have, low key. I don't know a full announcement, but they're gonna definitely have a token. So if you have some spare cash, if you have anything like Casper laying around, would be very smart to keep an eye on Eager Labs and see what they end up doing. And it's very important to see how they start. The start, okay? It's going to be very important because that's basically where you can make a lot of money, or it's not even like making that much money at all. If they say there's going to be lockup periods, if they're going to see how much the node operators make, maybe you can just run a node and make good money. Like, um, but it's cool. Expanding ecosystem is always good, and investment opportunities are always good to see. And as more, like, so much money is going to flow into Casper, it's going to be ridiculous. Like Ethereum is going to just keep, like, the life force of Ethereum is just draining, and Casper is just eating it all up. Solana the same. That's why we see Casper performing so much better than Ethereum, than Solana, than, I mean, it's crazy how bad Ethereum has been performing because people are realizing that Ethereum is not the end solution. So yeah, the new era of Caspa is upon us, and best be ready when she comes. So yeah, on that note, peace.